I don't know if you saw this, but Vox.com released an interesting thread that was talking about, says, we're running in real time an experiment on what happens when you don't accept trans kids. For trans children, the stakes of those conversations, whether held in state house or in living rooms, are literally life and death. And they wrote a whole article here that is about this. It's well put together, but it was like, what's so scary about a transgender child?
Well, maybe the fact that they want to cut off their genitals. That's a little bit scary.
Yes, that is frightening. And also,
that would make me nervous. Do you guys remember when you were in school and you found out that one of the girls was cutting herself? Remember? And she would be like, oh yeah, like here are my scars, like I'm cutting myself. And you would go to like the nurse or the counselor or whatever because—
Oh, you were a snitch?
No, I was never. I never did. But
oh man,
you knew that that person had mental illness. They had demons in their head, or it could have been attention. Sometimes it was attention. But if you were coming to cut your legs, your stomach, whatever it is, cutting yourself is considered a serious issue mentally. You're in a dark, dark place. So just think, cuts on your arms. In school, that was a big issue. But now, cutting off your penis, that is awesome. There's no issues there. Chopping off your breasts, why don't we all do that? All of us should do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you actually read the story, it's really important. It says, when May Salen was a teenager, her body and mind began to slip away from each other. Her body and face began to sprout thick hair. Her voice dropped, and she felt disassociated from her physical form. Something had gone wrong, and she could not reconcile that person she was with, the person the world perceived her as. The disconnect left the profoundly depressed and deeply lonely. May knew somewhere deep down that she needed to be a girl. Oh, so I forgot. This is a boy that is now supposed to be accepting as a girl, but she lacked the language for it. In May's heavily religious Texas community, of course
they were religious.
The existence of queer people was barely acknowledged, and trans people, she says, were only seen in pornography and on Maori.
Oh, so what? So, okay, so here we go. So a young teenager before 15 was watching pornography, transgender pornography. I wonder if that had any— no, I'm sure that had no influence at all. Why are you watching pornography at 12 years old? Why aren't you— hello, parents, guys.
It's that kid. It's a baby. I love how he's like a baby. He's like in diapers, like, Daddy, Daddy, I'm a girl. It's like, son, you need to go to your crib for about 30 minutes to take a nap because you probably— are you hungry?
So saying like, oh, how he's saying in the beginning, my voice started dropping, I started becoming— that's called puberty. Everyone goes through it. Before, you had a child body that everyone pretty much has the same child body, and then the girls start developing and the boys start developing. We both go our separate ways. But before that, it's a child body. There's nothing going on. So what were you missing?
Right. But I was going to say, what's the crazy part here to me is that they go, what's going to happen if we don't accept trans children?
Ooh.
My question is, what are we going to do now that we accept something that isn't real? And that's the experiment. The experiment is not what Vox is trying to say here, is that it's so scary about a transgender child and what's going to happen when we experiment on not accepting trans kids. The true experiment is what's going to happen to children when we lie to them and tell them they're transgender when they're not. And what's going to happen when we give kids puberty blockers and hormone blockers and surgeries to change parts of themselves permanently when they may not even want this. And even if they want it, it goes against the medical Hippocratic oath and it's a mutilative surgery. It's not beneficial. It's not helpful. And it's run by politics and profit, not on science. So that's the danger, not whether we don't accept them. It's whether we continue to lie to children. There's a reason why it's a trend.
Yeah, and at what point are we also going to look and go, I wonder what effect molestation has on kids. I wonder if that has any effect on their sexual development older. I wonder what happens to kids who start watching pornography or viewing sexual things or, being in an environment that is really sexual or whatever. I wonder if that would have any impact on a child's sexual development, the way their mind connects and works. I wonder if we should do any research on sexual trauma, sexual images, sexual anything when you're not developed sexually, when you're young, if that affects as you grow into an adult. I wonder, but it probably doesn't. So let's not look into that because it probably
that's why I remember this. Remember Angelina Jolie's daughter went by John. Do you not remember this?
I wasn't
completely went
know.
by John for several years. Remember when everybody in Hollywood had a transgender child?
Yeah, he was really popular.
No one talks about this. Everyone's like, oh, John's so famous. This is why kids do it. Well, this is John now. Shiloh is back to being a beautiful girl.
Welcome back, Shiloh. We welcome you back.
Right.
Sorry for what you went through. That was really wicked and wrong. That was wrong. What happened to you was wrong. And no one should have ever allowed you to do that decision. But we're happy that you're back.
We're happy that you're back, Shiloh. But I do bring this up in saying like feeling uncomfortable in your skin is just something that we're not supposed to be like telling people like you can just become a girl by wearing girls' clothes or you can become a boy by wearing boys' clothes. It's like this trans movement is important because it's a signifier of what our culture values, what we think is important. And the truth of what we find important is about, you know, cutting off our dinglings and going by our pronouns. And these are unimportant things that are creating a system of weak and very vulnerable people. And I mean, if you spend 4 or 5 years of your life trying to figure out your gender, you've sorely missed the point. And I mean, of all people, I've had my own struggles with different things in my life, gender not being one of them. But I will say, every year you spend in a struggle holds you back, and whether it's addictions or it's relationship problems or it's your own mental issues. And the problem is there are real issues, real temptations, real struggles in this world. Gender shouldn't be one of them. And if we're pushing that on kids, we're complicating their lives to a variable degree they were never meant to experience or encounter. Don't forget to support this local community here at ElijahSchaefer.locals.com. You can join the members, get the exclusive content, and also to continue to get the live stream after show. That's tomorrow. I'm traveling for the first time independent as well. So I need your support because I'm going to go make some content, Lord willing, up in another state. And I'm really excited about it. I'm trying to travel and do things and go to schools. And I need the Slightly Offensive backers to come together, become members, and join. We're getting things off the ground. And of course, some people don't want us to be successful. People don't like the fact that we're successful. So they're going to come and they're going to do their thing. And they're going to try to complicate a good work. But fuck them. I got you guys and I love you guys. You guys are awesome. And so please support. And also don't forget that you can pick up Slightly Offensive merch as OG. The hats are really high quality actually. And I'm really happy about it. And I know I have to ship some of the stickers out separately. So if you ordered stickers are coming, don't forget that you can pick up any of the merch at slightlyoffensive.com. And my merch is still coming in because I waited for a second because it took a second to get the stock in.